Hello, it's Nicko with Food Cravings, and today it's something special. I'm gonna talk to you about Fattoush, the tale of two salads. I'm gonna show you the best way to make fattoush, two ways, and no, we're not talking lettuce here. What I'm going to show you involves the most authentic ways to make these salads. First, we'll start with a few bunches of purslane, and you can find this at your local farmer's market. Here I have some that I've already plucked and added some cucumbers to. You might want to wash these before plucking. I have found this to be the most efficient way of cleaning purslane. To that, we're going to add, in the same bowl, our red onions thinly sliced, tomatoes, and of course the cucumbers. Next, we're going to add some dry mint. To that, we'll add some Aleppo pepper. Then we'll dump in some sumac and add in some lemon juice. After that, we'll go in and shower it with some salt. After adding the salt, I was on a quest for some olive oil and came back with a drizzle. Then I swooped around and dropped in some more. After a few tosses, I was pleased with the way it looked, at which point in time I decided to add the toasted Arabic bread, or what you would call pita chips, and flipped the script. It was time to plate up, and strangely out of the blue, copious amounts of salad kept piling on my plate out of nowhere. And as usual, it was time to go in for a taste, so I picked up my trusty fork and took a stab at it. Literally, combination of the cucumbers, purslane, crunchy Arabic bread, tomatoes and onions went well together. Not to mention the dry mint, sumac and the lemon juice gave it a nice twang, and personally I prefer this version the most because purslane is good for your heart. Now for the second version, which uses, you guessed it, watercress. In a separate bowl I have plucked, rinsed and washed watercress. Next we'll need some chopped tomato, and of course, like last time, some sliced red onions, and day-old Arabic bread, which we'll conveniently toast in the oven at 350 degrees for approximately 10 minutes. We'll also need some sliced cucumbers, you know, the pickling kind. Shortly thereafter, I combined everything into a single bowl, the tomatoes, onions, cucumbers, and of course, the watercress. Then, I made it rain, as usual, with some lemon juice. And since I'm Nicko, I like to also maximize the juices, so I made sure to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze that lemon until nothing was left. And after briefly flailing my fist, I was done. Next, I decided to prep my spices, which is the same for both versions. And it all starts with some Aleppo pepper, dried mint and sumac. The harmony between these three spices blend well together, so I added them in one by one. First the Aleppo pepper, then the sumac. Next, I threw down some dried mint. On a side note here, I'd like to mention that this salad is very earthy and can be eaten alone for lunch or as a side dish to dinner like kebabs. Here I also added in some salt. A pro tip here, it's always important to add everything in layers, toss it, and let it sit for a few hours in the refrigerator to combine. And here I added a drizzle of lemon juice, but I made it rain. And I almost forgot, I have to check on my Arabic bread, which at this time was toasting in the oven. And this time I let it brown a bit more. And the best part before crushing all this is that the Arabic bread itself gets a little soft and soaks up all the juicy dressing, making this salad very tasty. Here the forecast this time called for crunchy Arabic bread pieces falling from the sky and onto the salad. No, look! I'm serious. As the pieces kept piling on, I realized we just doubled the crunch factor of this salad. Listen. That's Chef Nicko style. As the last pieces of Arabic bread finished piling up, I also went on the quest for some more olive oil and came back with another drizzle. Look at how shiny that looks. Next, I went in single-handedly mixing everything to make sure that it was well incorporated. And You know what they say in the culinary world? Your hands are the best mixing tool. Halfway during tossing, my hand got tired again from manhandling the salad so much. So I managed to take a quick break and finally admire what I had made. But what I was really doing was letting it sit for a while so that everything could meld together better. Next, I had dished some into a separate bowl because, of course, as you know, it was time to go in for another taste. So I stirred it around one last time before I picked out a few vegetables along with the watercress and went in for a first bite. By now the flavors had settled and become more prominent. The crunch of the cucumber along with the, well, you could hear it for yourself. Yes, I know you want it. You're waiting for it, aren't you? That's Chef Nicko style. Since I couldn't resist, I took all these little samples, making sure the levels of the tanginess, savoriness, spiciness, and the saltiness were balanced. And it looks like the salad piled up magically again onto my plate, possibly signaling me for a tasting. So I went in full force this time, and I know what you're thinking. You already tasted it. I was only tasting for seasoning. I mean, look how good this looks. Very vibrant and healthy. So if you're looking for a salad that's tasty and healthy, this is it. A great lunch idea. This salad also makes for a great side dish during dinner. I hope you've enjoyed the recipe for Fattoush salad. For ingredient amounts and more info, please visit www.chefnicko.blogspot.com. Enjoy, thank you, bon appetit, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your friends.